Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play RGFX, the new order as Iberian. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So we've loosened some restriction on speech. Apparently it's going to make the military a little bit upset, but I don't know if that really matters. I actually don't even know where you see, where do you actually even see? We got democracy in Iberia, Union Nationale, the Republicans are both low. Look, you can't see that message, but it's popped up on my screen. Replace the damn chair. We might want to do that actually now. Because right now, he is making maintenance more expensive. Let's see if we can replace you with somebody who, because right now, all we're doing is paying maintenance. There's no more upgrades that we have to worry about. Maintenance or upgrade work. Worker well-being. Upgrade, but now maintenance is cheaper, maybe? Actually, I don't know. We'll see. Current budget for the dam is $11.5 million. Just, man, why not throw more money in there? It's something to spend our political power on, let's just put it that way. Yeah, we never need to worry about this. And who's still the more popular party? Union Republica actually has the most support by a singular point. But again, I don't know if there's actually going to be like another election in the country. June 1974 is when they say the next election is going to happen, but I can't imagine there's actually any events for that. Because the United States, any election by event. So it's very strange. Our elections are based on a date, but theirs are based on an event. Definitely a little bit strange. So I wonder actually if you were to like stay long enough, you'd have like another election happen. I'm not too sure. It might pop up like a new focus tree. I really don't know. Let's research you. And you have less than 10 days. Catholic guidance. Improve Iberia's stability. I mean, our stability is already, like, completely okay. Like, I'm not worried about our stability. Our stability is been, like, it's fine. It's actually considered excellent. Like, it's considered really good. Okay, let's do some Catholic guidance. Preparations for regional elections begin. All around the nation in various localities, the PRD, spin doctors, and campaign strategists are beginning their arduous task of reinforcing the central administration's line of planning for the upcoming regional elections. This is an important event as it could mean the further consolidation of power for the government, enabling the push through reforms at quicker rates while guaranteeing their effectiveness on the ground. Hence, it is extremely important that the party that this event would go in their favor. Some critics have stated the government is putting too much attention towards these elections and pivoting away from other pressing issues of the state. However, official statements have repudiated these harshly, labeling some of the hit pieces against them as disinformation. So we do some Catholic guidance. Choosing a posture on social issues. Since these upcoming regional elections are vital for securing a strong base in local areas of the party, and to ease it in reforms, it is necessary for us to develop a coherent popular posture in dealing with social issues. The most important of these being the political status of women and minorities due to the stability issues in the Union, which greatly affected the concept of Iberian identity. We can, however, not just limit ourselves to social sphere, as this our nation is not just plagued with hovering identity crisis. Once the range of issues and our points have been made clear, we next need to actually choose our stances. Should we appeal to the more conservative portion of the country, who naturally hold great sway in the elections and the despotic areas, or should we rather target the liberal elements that mostly congregate in the urban areas? Let's take a more liberal posture. Because I think the liberals were like the only party that had any... Yeah, okay, yeah, they're the most popular, but now we're once again the more popular. Clarifying our economic stance. The direction of both the local economies and the broader national economy is a great interest of the party. Hence, with the upcoming elections, we have the opportunity to reaffirm what most already know about our free market stance, or to slightly tone down the rhetoric in favor of a more comprehensive solution. Weighing up on the positive and negatives of the two options make one realize the precarious situation Iberia is truly in. Were we to go with the more market-oriented approach, we may risk conservative elements of the populace and business world, at the very least, acting non-compliant. While pursuing a free market approach may leave our economy lagging behind ultimately in the global market. You know what? Let's reassure the skeptics. What am I going to do with 50 political power? Nothing. Like, it actually wouldn't do anything for us. So we'll reassure the skeptics and hope for the best. And, you know, fingers crossed there. PRD makes large gains in liberal regions. Unsurprising to most, it became clear in the early hours after last ballots had been cast that the PRD had made considerable gains in liberal areas of the nation. These were very important very important to the party, despite their almost ensured support, as future policy would be built upon their backing, and any sort of electoral challenge could not be squashed with their votes. However, as most dignitaries celebrated, some of the higher level party members were already in deep conversation about the topic of liberal expectation and conservative moderation. Policy changes would certainly come across differently in the two opposing camps. Finding a balance between the two as to not antagonize either to any great extent is vital for both the stability of the party and the nation. Yay, 150 political power. We're actually now over the cap. No, never mind. We've lost it all. It goes back to the cap, apparently, if you go over. But, I mean, that's great. It's good to know. Yeah, let's get a little bit more air support. Sounds decent enough to me. The work of God. Our place on the world stage, aside of the OFN. I mean, it's like 1972. Which I believe now means, like, the United States is about to have their election. Crisis has been resolved. You're going to redevelop the nation. So you are doing this tree, which I think is probably going to be your final tree. Yeah, I'm assuming once you do the Eternal Reich, that's going to be the end of anything Germany does. We still have to worry about Burgundy, because Burgundy could still nuke everybody into, just nuke everybody. Just kill everybody on the planet. Which, of course, wouldn't be the best for us. For obvious reasons, that I don't like being blown up with a nuclear bomb. Okay, we changed with the times. Guided by the church. At precisely 6 p.m. on the state-run cable television networks, the broadcast was interrupted by a speech by the president of Iberia. It was unannounced, causing worry from those who believed it to be an emergency address. Luckily, this was not the case. Rather, the president has taken it that it would be a good time to reintegrate the importance of the Catholic Church in the lives of every Iberian. Using the politician's tongue and hyperbole, he went on to make the statements for around 20 minutes, delving into the history of its lessons of modern society, drawing parallels between godlessness and chaos. Finishing not too soon, he mentions Opus Dei in the positive terms, giving those he presided over the advice to seek out their support in case of emotional stress or lack of faith. And with that, the normal broadcast resumed. Truth and propaganda. Yeah, so I mean, we can be a nation of God. Everyone knows that God was a libertarian. You can't. That's history, folks. You can't argue with history. I mean, you can. That's actually what people do all day. But that's beside the point. Let's throw more factors in artillery, I guess. Like, again, it doesn't really matter what we choose there. Adela was 43 years old and still unmarried. Troubled by her lack of attraction to men, she had to shave daily and long wished she could become a man. Adela confided in her closest friend, a woman named Isabella, that she suspects she really is a man. Deeply concerned, her friend recommends that she see a doctor, and to Adela's great surprise, the doctor tells her that she was in fact a he. At once relieved to know and frightened by the implications, Adela assumed a new identity, Juan. And Juan must now navigate his way through society that could not hope to comprehend his identity change. After facing many struggles, the movie ends with Juan obtaining a satisfying job and marrying Isabella. My Dear Senorita has proven to be an unexpected hit among Iberian audiences and has become a subject of great controversy. The movie's supporters praise it for its satirical work, which highlights the absurdity in society's different expectations for men and women through an equally absurd story. It's strict to write it as a disgusting mockery of Iberian gender roles and relationships, especially objecting to the strong implications that Iberia and Juan were attracted to each other when he was still Adela. But to a small and great community in Iberia, the movie was something else entirely. To them, My Dear Senorita is a story about a transgender man undergoing a transition in society, unable to view the concept of anything but delusion and perversion, and that is acceptance by mainstream audiences could only be achieved with such an overly ridiculous plot. Perhaps one day, their own identities would not be seen as repulsive. Regardless of the true intention of the filmmakers, My Dear Senorita is sure to be discussed for many years to come. Again, like, I had to ask, is that a real movie? Like, I don't know what in this mod is made up for the internal lore of the world, and what actually exists as a You know what? We have time. I'm gonna Google this. My dearest senorita. Okay, my dear senorita. 1972. It's a drama. It's a romance. Okay, no, it was a real movie. It's got its 86% of Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. So we're learning things about Spanish history. Italy has acquired nuclear weapons. The Italian government announced earlier today that it essentially tested an atomic bomb earlier this week in the Sahara Desert. Furthermore, the Italians... Look, it's good about the oil crisis, but I'm reading about Italy's nukes. So the news has shocked the entire world as the Italians seemed nowhere near to acquire nuclear weaponry. The ascent of Italy to a nuclear state is something that would drastically impact foreign relations with the rest of the world. Italy's former friends and triumvirate must now tread carefully around their former ally. America and Japan will now most likely treat the Italians as an equal. The unspoken elephant in the room, however, is the German Reich. The two powers have always had a cold relationship. With the Italians acquiring an atomic bomb, it's clear the German-Italian relationships will become even more tense than before. It seems like the Cold War is doomed to escalate even further. How fantastic. Okay, well, let's go with this focus. We want to also research. Let's research. Make our tanks a little bit better. Sure, more breakthrough, more armor is not the worst in the world. You know what? Why not read these things as well while we are waiting for things to actually happen? Though we even embrace economic progressivism, social progressivism is another matter entirely. We are, of course, a true Iberian party, and a true Iberian party is a true Catholic party. That said, not all Iberians are as dedicated to the Catholic values as we are, and it would not do to simply ignore their complaints or pretend that we do not live in an increasingly globalized society. Divorce is an issue that continues to divide both Iberian and our party, with many considering the traditional family too important for social coherence, too important for social cohesion for us to dare infringe upon it. Okay, sure, we'll do that. The death of the king of fashion. Castillo Valencia was born in a small village in Biscay, raised by a single mother who, after his father drowned in an accident at sea. Developing a love for tailoring, he showed astounding ability to turn dress designs into real outfits from an early age. And in 1919, he founded the Haute Couture Boutique. He had a talent for exactly copying paper drawings into real dresses, fitting perfectly to both the desire and form of his patrons, and soon his boutique developed into a small regional popular fashion brand. Integrating himself with the French fashion design community, he moved to Paris to escape the Civil War, and to New York to escape the World War. His designs for Hollywood and Broadway stars made him one of the most famous and influential fashion designers in world history. What distinguished Valencia most from his other fashion designers was his challenging of fashion norms, and of what fashion design itself meant. At the time when high fashion usually meant dresses to highlight the features of tall, attractive young women, Valencia frequently designed for older women, short women, and overweight women. He made designs which hid rather than accentuated hips and breasts. His best known and most influential design was his baby doll dress, which mimicked the conservative and highly feminine appearance of dolls in the 19th century aristocrats, but which did not require a corset. Nearly all fashion lines today have been inspired or changed in some way by Valencia. His decision to retire and return to Iberia in 1968 signaled the end of an era for fashion worldwide, including in Iberia itself. Universally agreed to be the greatest Iberian fashion designer in history, news of his death made headlines worldwide, with hundreds of magazines publishing long memoirs to him and his work. Okay, so I'm surprised we didn't get like a notification saying that he came back to Spain. We just got a notification that said he dies. Which is surprising. I wonder if you could, I wonder if, like, you could join the OFN as well. You probably can, like, once the game gets a little bit more developed. Otherwise, that Orenburg is enough to, 10% factory output, huh? For the entire country, just because you own Orenburg. Is that a little bit much, but okay. For harmonious society. Do you have a focus as well? Yes. Protest for divorce in Barcelona. A liberal thorn, or perhaps the further left, was wedged into the soft flesh of party complacency. Because of course, Iberian people are Catholic, one, but under foreign influence and internal oppression, views on certain social issues have radically altered. It should have been a peaceful, normal working day with hurried economic activity in the second largest city in the Union. Instead, many major roads in Barcelona were blocked by throngs of people protesting for something they had no right to. Divorce for any reason. This cannot stand. Sedation is like spreading among the populace with shit Iberian politics out of control. Hands of protest must be countered in such a way that it is discredited, not merely broken up. The message must be killed, not its messengers. Perhaps some counter-protests may do the trick, organized by our friends at the WWII, to show the true will of the Iberian people against these hooligans. So we're going to set up a counter-protest. Dos, tres. This Friday evening, families across Iberia sit in their living rooms and turn on the television. The third episode of Dos, tres, Responde Otra Vez, is about to air, and over half the country is watching. Television's had a uniqueness within Iberian households for a while now, but with little to watch beside the news and subtitled American TV shows. No one show was anywhere near as universally watched. Dos, tres was different. A huge ad campaign preceded the release of Iberian's first television game show, and when the first episode aired on April 24th, it somehow exceeded the already high expectations of excited viewers. Where other shows had one theme and stuck to it, contestants in Dos, tres made 3 rounds. The first question round, 3 couples competed to give as many answers to questions as possible without a wrong answer or repeating a previous answer. The winning couple gets to skip a round, while the other 2 losing couples have to face each other in the second elimination round, in which contestants face single challenges, which the winners face the winners of the first round in the third auction round. Before that, though, the intermission with dancing, music, and sometimes comedy sketches plays. The auction round has contestants participate in various gambling games and for money and prizes, different games every episode. In the final part of the show, they would negotiate with the host for either cash or the final prize, ranging from worthless gag prizes to luxurious prizes worth many thousands of pestas. Dos, tres is made by and for Iberian audiences, with episodes filmed in Spanish but also dubbed for broadcast in Portugal. With the enormous amount of viewership the show has seen in just the first few episodes, Television Iberia is already trying to negotiate episodes of the show with foreign subtitles that are elsewhere in Europe. You know what they say, Iberian TV is the best TV. Okay, counter-protest proved to be ineffective. The efforts to create an effective counter-protest by the government has been foiled. Not only was the intended outcome of reducing the credibility of the regional force protests not achieved, many liberals have also taken issue with the government policy considering promises made in the local elections. Finding a link between the counter-protests organized by religious followers and the current administration has not been a hard job, as speculation regarding the connection between the 2 groups has been running rampant since the initial swearing in of the party. A multitude of marches and other forms of protest have begun to erupt around the nation, mostly confined to larger cities. That condemn the administration foregoing their promises to maintain strong relationships with Catholics and Christians alike, playing the game of politics instead of staying true to the word. Crackdowns are already occurring, luckily with minimal violence, but the whole affair has led to strain on the government that may never ever be truly able to clean. So we are getting less and less popular. I mean, we're still at what? We're still at 31%. We're still the biggest party. 55, you guys are overwhelming. Well, I mean, we're still the leading party. We've actually gotten surprisingly more popular. Not too sure how that happened, but that's okay. So in the United States, at this point, your tree should be over, right? No, okay, no, the election is in 1972. So I don't think you have enough time to finish the entirety of your tree here. You get pretty close. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think LBG is going to finish the Great Society. Even with his, 8 years that he had to do it. And we'll see who gets elected afterwards. I don't think any of the 1972 candidates have a focus tree. I might be wrong, but when we play as the United States, our candidate did not have a focus at all. Maybe the liberals or the conservatives there do. We'll have to kind of see. So what's everybody else doing? I mean, at this point, again, I think Italy's basically done their tree. They can't do too much. Britain is probably going to finish their tree relatively soon as well. You know, Russia's done. China is done. Japan is done. Harmonious society. Reduce economic restrictions. For harmonious society, the progress achieved by the party in transporting a backward civilization forward into a new age has been tremendous. Iberia has become a beacon of hope on the European continent, a bright light in the dark swaths of authoritarianism. All that had been done was to create a more economic freedom for the people, to allow choice where previously had been mandate. After all, how could it be managed from the top down? The party was not God, and neither was this his kingdom. Clearly, not everyone was as eager to accept a new opportunity for the Union. Some had their faith reinstated, others just by positive social reinforcement. On other occasions, the Vigilant Open DS organization has always been ready to help. However, they may have seen the light now. The way forwards in a harmonious society will be representatives of God's will on Earth. I feel like I completely butchered that, like really badly as well. Okay, there's been a decrease in poverty. Absolutely fantastic. We're now 15 to 25% poverty rate, which is 5% more stability, 5% more war support, 2.5% more population. And it's doubling, or not doubling, it's 10% more factory output and dockyard output, 10% more construction speed, less population growth, more trade, and more income rate factors. We're doing pretty all right, I would think. There's for 84% stability, 56% war support. Like at this point, I can't imagine Iberia will collapse. Okay, so got traditional gender roles, but I mean that's not too surprising, seeing as our current administration is very, very Catholic. But I think for right now, it's gonna be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anselm. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up. Not enjoying, click thumbs down. You want us to subscribe, and goodbye.